And we're live. We're live coming to you from our live panels.
Yeah.
We're fresh off the boat from FanExpo Vancouver. We've been meeting people face to face and talking about D&D all day. Welcome to BlackwaterDnD. Whoa, Lennon's got a new setup.
Hello, Lennon.
Whoa.
Hi. What's this delivery service delivering them good vibes directly to my heart? Oh my god.
Whoa.
That's fucking
He's
sick.
directly to my heart. So
that
good.
fox lady has a really long penis.
Adam.
I hate you.
We were doing so well.
You're talking about the broomstick. I'm talking about whatever the little. Anyway, I'm not going to yes and that, but there's a number of phallic objects. If you choose to look at that as a fox, okay, we've lost Lennon.
We talked about reckless yes anding at one of our panels this morning, and thank you so much to everyone who came to join us.
Welcome on in bit from FanExpo.
Hey, thank you so much for joining us. This was one of our first conventions to go to and present at. Like, holy shoot, what a delight. We're hoping to get some more under our belts as coming up. So yeah, thank you all for the follows, for the tweets, for all of that kind of good stuff, and coming to hang out with us. We had like 100 people at each panel.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, so good.
It really gave me a perspective of like, oh, that's what it's like when like 100 people like watch you just do what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because
this is a nice physical representation of what our audience would look like.
I was like, oh, this feels cozy, but also a little intimidating.
Cozily intimidating. And we are joined once again this week by the wonderful, the amazing Jeremy Cobb. Thank you so much for being back with us.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure.
Yes, as my favorite. My favoriteest kobold of all time.
Oh, such a good character.
He's precious.
Surging ahead all the other kobolds.
If anything happens to him, I will explode this channel. I will do it. We are going to get into some announcements here, and then we will jump into that good D&D. So a big thank you to our sponsors, Legendcraft, a nerdy woodworking company from Calgary. Check them out, and if anything tickles your fancy, enter the code Blackwater for a discount. We're also proud to be sponsored by Sirenscape because epic games require epic sound. We have two amazing partners. The first up is Legend Keeper. This is the ultimate world building tool created by DMs for DMs. It is both a Canadian and US company, and we are so stoked because in like 2.5 weeks, Tim and I are going to be sitting down with Legend Keeper for the very first time to like dive into it as a platform and also get Tim away from that Google Hell document he has. It is time for change, and we're so happy that Legend Keeper is going to grow along with us. Also, our second partnership is indeed Kobold Press. We are excited to work with Kobold Press as part of a new campaign that is starting on Sunday, March 6th at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time over on twitch.tv/Kobold Press. The campaign is completely homebrewed and set in the Margrave setting, which is a twisted forest with dark and fey magic. Very cool. Tim has been hard at work on that. Tim is DMing, and it will feature myself and Adam and Cody, and also feature our dear friends Brianna DeCoster of Utahime Cosplay and our wonderful improviser and comedian friend Gordy Lucius. So please come hang out with us. If it is an 8-week run, if it is well attended, they'll extend it for 8 weeks, or up to 12 weeks, and then they might bring us back in the fall. Which would be super rad. So please stay tuned to all of their socials for that. Love, as always, to our dice goddess Keisha. Check her out at fairydragon_dice. And our artist is the amazing Tiana Kovacevic. We got so many compliments on her art that we showed all over FanExpo today, which was a delight. Both of their commissions are closed at the moment, but stay tuned for when they open again. We have a merchandise store that you can get some of our art on a bunch of things like shirts and hoodies and shower curtains and aprons and journals and hats and more. If you would like to come hang out with this cast and an amazing bunch, wonderful, one of the best communities on the internet, please come hang out in our Discord. It is just a treat. But while we're streaming, hang out here in the Twitch chat. That's where all the cool kids are. A big thank you to those of you who subscribe to us. You do that, and I love that. about you. There,
So
don't forget
cool.
so cool. Don't forget to re-up your subscriptions because they don't roll over every month. You also get one free Twitch sub with your Amazon Prime. So if that is something that you would like to gift to us, thank you. Also, Anamides, thanks for gifting Bit a Bit 96 a sub. You're the best friend. Thank you. And also thank you for the sub, Tatum Chan. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Sub with Prime.
Welcome in, friends.
We're also just really happy to have you here. We would do this anyway, but the community that has built up around us is just such a delight. I would never anticipated this happening, 2 years ago when we started, and we're all so grateful for all of your love and support. We are also on YouTube. You're like, oh my gosh, episode 84. Where are the rest of them? Well, boy, howdy. They're on YouTube, all meticulously cataloged for you, for your enjoyment. Please binge through as best you can. Yeah, I'll absolutely hashtag best community ever. We were at FanExpo today. We've been talking about it for a long time, but we're very excited. It was very, very fun. Hopefully we get to go to some more conventions.
Can I do a quick shout out too, just while I'm thinking of it? I also want to just do a little shout out to Diabolical Dungeoneer, who gave me a free D20 because I mentioned certain YVR Dungeon Masters, but they make some really rad TTRPG accessories.
Oh, fun.
Really cool stuff. Yeah.
Really cool 3D printed stuff, some really cool mugs that they make. And they made those like the figurines from the GM's Guide. Like the ebony fly and the ivory dog. They're very cool. Anyways, I got a free.
What was their name again, Tim?
Diabolical Dungeoneer.
What was that name again, Tim?
Okay, it was okay. Please listen. Diabolical Dungeoneer.
Diabolical. Thank you,
Right,
Tim.
little shout out.
We also managed to record both of our presentations. So I will be able to be in the process of editing those, and they will be posted as YouTube exclusive content. Discord will get to hear them probably first. So more reason for you to come join our Discord, and also more reason for you to subscribe to us on YouTube. Before I jump into our programming over the next week, Len, what are you doing on your channel this week?
Oh, maybe streaming this week. Not quite sure. Maybe though.
Amazing.
Probably Wednesday.
Do you know what you will be streaming?
Nope.
Amazing. Well, Lennon is a variety streamer. They have just such a cozy, wonderful vibe on their channel. So please go over, and if one of our mods can shout out Len in the chat, that would be great. Adam, are you streaming this week?
Are you ready to have your fucking mind blowing? Yeah, I'm streaming on Monday. We're going to do 2 hours of Subnautica and 2 hours of Lost Ark because it's Moist Mondays.
I was going to say, are we painting on Monday though?
Yeah, I'm going to do that beforehand.
Oh yeah, okay.
Busy day. On Wednesday, I'm going to do 2 hours of Lost Ark, then 2 hours of Warhammer 3, and then on Friday, 2 hours of Warhammer 3, and then 2 hours of League for Full Tilt Friday.
Amazing.
Big schedule. I fucking locked it in.
Thank you, Adam. Our wonderful producer, Cody, who we all know and love, also streams. So please go give Cody a follow as well. We are back on Monday. Adam and I, in the evening, will be painting with our No Excuses, the painting show where Adam and I listen to lo-fi and paint together, and also hang out with our wonderful community and chat all things D&D. We categorize it as an art stream, so we get a lot of new people coming in, and it's very, very nice. So please come over and hang with us 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We are back on Wednesday next week with DM Roulette, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You will see a bunch of us come in and play all of the characters and all of the DMs, and we are going to be joined by 2 of the most fantastic femme DMs that I know. We're going to be joined by Beth the Bard, who I adore, and she is so wonderful. And we are also being joined by our dear friend Jen, who is from Feywild and Out, a DM over there who we adore. Tim was on her podcast as of lately, the Overprepared DM. So we'll be looking forward to having you. It will be a half femme table this time because I'm going to be playing as well, which is a delight. So please come hang out with us, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then we're back, of course, on Saturday for more of this. So lastly, whether you are new with us tonight and you've come in from FanExpo, or you've been with us for ages, thank you so much for your support. Also, chat, we need to take a moment to honor one of the most amazing people in this community, Teeny.
Yeah,
holy bananas.
Big shout out.
So Teeny at like midnight last night drops a picture in the Discord of themselves at the Vancouver airport with no context. And I think all of us collectively lost our minds. Teeny came to our panels today and we hung out, and it was just a delight. He's here exploring Vancouver and exploring FanExpo, and he's just, it warmed my heart.
What a hell of a legend. I also want to shout out all the people who are saying that they're here from FanExpo. Welcome
Hey,
in.
Oh, you're actually here.
You're
We have a bunch of
here.
people
Welcome,
coming in
welcome.
from FanExpo, so we're really happy to have
Hopefully
you.
we can put our moneyes where our mouth is talking about
Yeah,
narrative
let's
DM next week.
You really got to deliver on a
totally.
good cliffhanger.
Yeah, oh no, yeah. Someone has mentioned cliff litching, Tim. But you have to do it.
We're ready to go.
I made no promises.
Made no promises. So if you are, as I said, if you are new with us tonight, thank you so much for being here. We love you immensely already. Too bad we love you already. You're now part of the community.
You're in it.
Thank you.
You can't leave. One of us, Google Gobble.
You're one of us, and thanks for hanging at a table. You hope you feel really welcome here. And Cody, roll the clip.
Roll the clip, Cody.
Do we have a clip?
Cody, do you have it?
I was waiting for spicy Cody. I was so ready for it.
Also, he did a little syncopated beat there where he was like in 3, 2, 1, and it just like, it threw me a little bit.
Cody here with the spice always to keep us on our toes.
I like the
polyrhythmic countdowns.
To the man with the plan or the prep, Tim.
All right.
Welcome on in, Werewolf, as well from FanExpo. Hello.
Welcome. And for those of you just joining us tonight,
oh boy.
Last week, Blackwater connected Serpenthus with Magrin to continue the process of forging a Dawn Prism. They then returned to the Plane of Fire, where the riverboat captain Infernus had hired them a guide, Wilwax Sniv, a seasoned kobold native to the plane, who was the only person Infernus could find that dared go to the source of the River Incendio. As they traveled beyond the walled city, the first few days were quiet as they arrived at their first stop, the fishing village of Calda. It was there they visited Razzo's roasters and gorged themselves on exotic meat before camping on the nearby banks of the river. Into their first day, they were ambushed by renegade fire giants wielding massive hooks who attempted to pull them onto shore along with a cannon-wielding giant. As the ship was nearly capsized, Letters reversed gravity, creating a massive pool of floating magma. After a series of decisions were made and poor luck,
the tone.
The decisions were made.
And Callie ended up in the river along with the fire giants after a narrow rescue by Finin, who managed to return them to the boat where Neppy was able to heal them. As they traveled and day turned into night, they set their sights once again on the shore to camp for the night. And that is where we pick up as the day has kind of passed into night, and that familiar glow of the river is kind of illuminating everything around you. And you begin to search for somewhere to pull off, if you would like to. He figures Infernus told you that the boat probably had one more day before you'd have to take it out of the river, unless you really wanted to push it. Or you could take it out tonight and try to get 2 days tomorrow.
I think after our day, taking it out tonight might be the best option, and then try and push for 2 days if we can.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah, it seems like we got the space for it. We camp tonight.
Sounds about right. I can find us a spot if need be.
Thank you, Willie. Much
Be
appreciated.
appreciated.
Yeah, Willie Sniv, that'd be perfect, please.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'll put a hand on his shoulder. Not that you need it, but you can have guidance with that as well.
just checking in with everyone because a lot went on very recently. How's everyone doing in case like stuff happens in the night? Can we? Are we good for that?
Oh, to like for a dust up?
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty fresh.
Cool.
I'm quite fine.
Okay.
I'm planning to set an alarm in front of the camp. So if
Okay.
something were to enter the perimeter, we should be notified.
Cool. Great. All right. Yeah.
So, would you like to go? Do you want to pull out on the East Bank or the West Bank?
What would you recommend? Any preference?
I mean, it's all the same. West Bank is where the Giants came from.
Well, perhaps we try our luck with the East Bank.
Can I do a check?
Absolutely.
Using my, I guess, understanding of this area to try and be like, see what's up.
Yeah,
like a survival or perception or whatever.
No, make a survival check.
Okay.
We do know there's at least 3 less giants than there
That
were
is true.
before on the
There
west.
was
few
one.
less giants
He's
on the
still
West Bank.
alive, and maybe
Yeah,
it's
but
gone
he's
crazy.
wrestling with his inner turmoil of eating his own
Yes.
friend. So
Yeah.
I think he's dead inside.
yeah.
We did.
We did a
He was
moral
turned
kill
into a
there.
dinosaur. We did.
Break him.
Mm.
Okay, so I have, because this is my favorite terrain,
Yes.
my proficiency bonus is doubled, which means that instead of a plus 10 to survival, I have a plus 15 to survival.
Mwah.
And you know what? I'm going to take a little bite of fire eel jerky and give guidance to myself on top of the guidance that I was.
Oh,
So I'm going to be rolling a D10, D20, and 2 D4s.
I love that.
Plus
Plus
15.
6, plus 15.
Go off.
And it's a good thing I had the plus 15 because that is, I rolled a natural 2. So that can become to 17 plus another 6. So that's a 23 survival.
From a 2?
Wow.
As a casual plus 21 to the roll, you know.
As
You
you
are
do.
so familiar with this stretch. This, like, the first 2 stretches of this journey are well traveled. The kind of Allura's Run, the part that you're on now, and the earlier part just outside the walled city, are very familiar, well traveled by a lot of people. And you know that this section is more of a dangerous run because it does take longer, and like there is ambushes that happen when folks kind of get off of the river. So you kind of sit back and you look, and knowing what you know about the giants, you do know that there are encampments on the West Bank farther in. So you're not sure if there's a number of spots that looks easier to pull off onto the West Bank. The tree line is a little bit farther back, and there's a bit more of a softer shore. So there's like a bit of stretch there.
Sorry.
And no.
Cat hit something.
And then on the East Bank, it's a little bit steeper. And the jungle that grows here kind of comes right up to the bank, but you do spot like a little grove on the East Bank that you can see where like there is the bank kind of softens a bit. And there would be a spot. You will have to kind of haul it up and over a little ways, like an embankment, to get it out of fully out of the river. But there is like a little grove that does seem fairly well protected, and there's some kind of rock, like the one side is kind of a rocky outcrop. And you figure that would probably be the safest spot, or at least the most sheltered spot.
Finin has found a guitar in the ship and is playing Sweet Home, Old Town Dresden. Ding, 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 ding.
I'm going to relay all of that information to everybody else. And I'm going to ask, I would like to ask Infernus a question.
Yeah.
Before taking it to the group. I'm going to, as we're like, I guess, getting ready to disembark and move everything up, I'm going to ask him.
Now, today what happened, that was, it was less than good, I think it's fair to say. Do you think it would be worth bringing someone else on board?
Well, we can, but the tricky part is finding someone who will go with us.
I have ways of making that happen.
All right, well, when we
If
get
we can
to...
find someone, I have ways of making it happen.
Well, why don't we ask around in Valente?
Okay. I'm saying Look, I'm just going to level with you. I can make someone come with us if we find them. I was trying to be coy, but you're not picking up on it. So I'm just going to tell you right straight. If we find someone, I can make them come with us.
Right. I mean, we just run the risk of having someone turn on us once
Oh,
they come
no.
to.
If they turn on us, they would die.
Okay. Well, then, I suppose you can pick anybody you like when you get to Valente.
Okay. Biggest, beefiest boy I can find.
Yeah, sure. Jeez. You never cease to surprise, Will.
Yes. You don't survive everything I've survived unless you're willing to cut a few corners. You know what I mean?
I suppose so. So where are we pulling off?
You see that grove right off there? We need to haul the boat up, but
All right.
I have my ways of helping. I can actually, if you need help, I can maybe get Rupert help you out.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Right.
I cast enlarge on Rupert, so he grows.
Yeah.
As you do that, the whole ship just kind of lists a bit. The wide bottom ship just kind of like, whoa, and then you all sort of adjust to kind of fix it.
I also cast enlarge on Rupert. Wait, no, that'll flip the ship. Wait a second. I say
get in the
I
water.
can.
I don't think the same spell effect can be on it one thing though.
And
Oh, you can only
I
cast
don't know
one
if you can
spell once?
stack and large.
I don't believe you can stack a spell on one creature because otherwise you could just do like infinite hastes.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
they have
true.
been stacking guidance.
That's true.
Well,
I mean, maybe we nip that in the bud.
John's just sad because he can't double cast enlarge.
They stack guidance. I don't know if you can stack guidance. No, they don't.
Oh,
yeah, I think
Well,
the
we
same spell
add
can't be
bonuses together.
That's a
can't be
shame.
together. Yeah.
You can.
We see
Just-
folks from
just
FanExpo who have just come
continuously-
in. You keep learning D&D as you play. We're always learning.
All right, I don't do that. I keep that spell slot.
No, I look at letters and I'm like,
Cast
I want to
reduce
help.
on it.
I want to help. Please, letters. I know you can. Please. I like lifting things and working out. This is like the ultimate.
Wait a
Lava
second.
workout.
Work smart, not hard. Everybody get your shit out of the boat.
Oh my god.
I will
no.
also have Rupert jump off into the lava because he's immune to fire. So he's going to jump off into the lava and help push, like help
Sweet
guide
doggy
the boat.
paddle.
boy.
I know
Yeah.
exactly what's coming, and so does Finn. And Finn is going to be like, as soon as letters is like, everyone get your shit off the boat. Finn is so fast off that boat. Like, he's like, oh, fuck.
I'll let you know. The planet. I can make us big, or I can make the boat small. Like
It's not a bad idea.
We
As,
get all,
uh,
we all
as
get
in
all
Infernus thinks it's good, Finnan.
As you get closer, he kind of like pulls up, and the sides of the walls of this boat are higher than a lot of the other boats that you've seen. Because he's a giant, it needs to be kind of deeper for him to be able to maneuver. But you watch as he kind of pulls the boat up to the edges of the river and kind of angles it, and like you watch as Rupert kind of grabs on with a claw to kind of hold it in place, and he hops over the side as well, splashing down into the lava. And kind of holds the boat in place as they both yank it over to the shore and kind of turn it and start like moving in behind it to push it up onto the bank. So you guys scramble out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you guys scramble out onto the kind of the little grove, and as they're pushing, is anyone going to help?
I will cast.
I will help pull it.
reduce. On
Okay,
the
yeah, great. So yeah, the whole thing comes
Is now
kind
half the weight.
shrinks, and you watch as it like pushes forward very quickly, as not totally expecting it. Finnan, do you go to help pull it?
Yeah, I'll go help.
I'll
try
give
pull it.
guidance
Yeah, I
to
will
him
as
as
well.
well.
Okay, you do take some damage as you
Hell yeah.
pull the edges of the boat.
The best kind of workout.
It is very hot.
I'll actually give you protection from the. Oh no, I can't give you protection from the elements. It's a concentration. I
Right.
thought about giving you protection from elements.
You look at Finn and you see there's a glint in his eyes, like he loves this.
You take 24 points of fire damage.
Oof,
As it's just like the metal is just searing your hands as you pull it up, and they push and you get it up onto into the little grove. And now the boat is only taking out about 8 feet because the whole
It's
thing is
only
about-
tiny for a minute.
Okay.
Like,
Well, does it go
it'll be
from?
tiny.
It
It goes.
It halves in size.
Mhm.
yeah, so it's now about 7 feet long because the whole thing is about 14, 15 feet. So it shrinks down to about 7, and you watch as Infernus kind of comes out and sort of wedges it between like a row of trees, knowing that it will get bigger, so it doesn't get stuck. But he kind of tips it up on its side. All right. Well, I guess where we're gonna camp for the night. I'm gonna do a bit of work on the boat, make sure it's all ready to go for the morning.
Do you need hands with anything, or?
No, it should be fine. Just checking some of the enchantments.
For sure.
I walk over to Khale as that interaction, or like while the boat was being lifted out, when Khale was finished. Are you all right? Your hand's okay?
The boat's warm. I'm slowly learning that lava is quite hot.
Slow process, but it's happening.
I've almost got it.
I'm hoping so. Will you take watch with me tonight?
Of course.
I have something I want to ask you and then potentially show you. So.
Okay.
All right. I'll talk about it later. But... And Neppy, you see Neppy starting to rifle through her bags as if she's looking for something.
If we're divvying out watches, I can take first if needed. If people want to get a bit of a rest in.
I'm happy to take watch too, but remember, don't go to bed before you have your evening supper.
And I'm gonna go ahead and cast Hero's Feast again for everybody.
Yes,
legend.
Yes. Finn's so excited for food.
Hero's Feast.
This time it's a lot like thicker. Like I'm like,
after today, we really gotta load up on them carbs.
I love a carb-heavy meal. It's so good.
Everybody gains 11 extra health.
We love that.
As you all kind of dig in.
Letters definitely overeats and graciously accepts Finn's offer of not being on watch first and passes out unceremoniously. Just
nice.
Out. Oat chips just stuck in his beard. Yeah.
Who would like to take first watch with Finin?
Will.
Nice. All right. So you watch as Infernus kind of sets up like he like breaks off a fairly large branch and kind of jams it up underneath the boat, creating kind of like a makeshift tent, metal tent. As he just like
super warm and toasty.
It just covers him. It's just big enough for him. You can see his feet are kind of sticking out just where the paddle wheel is.
Willie, I feel like we've been taking a lot of watches together. I feel like we're making a good team.
Yes, I thought it would be best to try and forge this, let's say, temporary partnership a little bit deeper.
I appreciate that.
Yes.
That's good.
Yes.
That's good. Yeah, brilliant. I'll keep an eye out, obviously. So, do you want us to make perception checks?
You had mentioned setting the alarm spell earlier. Did you want to do that now?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Is there, based on the way this grove is working, is there like an entrance to the grove?
Yeah, so there's a bit of an opening on like the backside. It almost seems like there may be a game trail that kind of goes through and down to the edges of the river, but it kind of widens out right at the mouth.
Okay, then I will set my alarm right in that spot. It is, I believe, a 20-foot cube. So a 20-foot cube area where I will take some powder out of my ingredients bag, and it's like black powder that spreads and fills the air before each of the particles briefly burst into flames and then just sort of settle in the flames turn invisible. And I'm just kind of sitting there like.
Finin, distracted by the conversation, rolled uncharacteristically low for his perception, so I only got an 18.
18, okay. Will, I'll have you make a survival check while you're setting that alarm check for me, or the alarm.
Can I have Rupert, the Death Lord, give me the help action on this?
Absolutely.
Okay. And I will also guide myself, because after today, I'm like, So that's a natural 20. That becomes a 36.
Ooh.
Nice. So you see, as you're setting this alarm on this game trail, you do notice they're fairly fresh tracks. They look similar to Rupert's, but not quite the same. I'll have you make a nature check for me, please.
Okay. I'm gonna give guidance to myself again.
Absolutely.
So this becomes, I think, a plus 10. So, okay. So that is 31.
31. Okay. So you have had experience with this particular creature before, and also its kind of cold counterpart. But you see that these tracks, these relatively fresh tracks, look like a fire salamander, the more like animalistic salamander, like equivalent to kind of a frost salamander, but with fire. And you recognize that this is a well-worn path. It seems like now, as you sort of set up here, you realize that like as you're setting that alarm spell across that game path, that game is actually a fire salamander. Now, the tracks look relatively fresh and they were leaving. So you're not sure if it's close by. They look like they were probably obviously before you got here. So it's difficult to tell exactly, how far they may be or if they'd be coming back, but you do know that creature could be within the vicinity.
Okay. Then in that case, and I can speak. Well, do fire salamanders able to speak?
They do. The more animalistic ones do not speak.
Okay.
You would know that they understand kind of rudimentary Ingen, like the primordial fire elemental plane language.
Do I think I'd be able to communicate with one if one were to appear?
You're making
I
animal
primordial.
handling. Yeah, make an animal handling check for me.
Okay. Would I also have my proficiency bonus doubled because I'm in my, I guess, where this is...
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right, cool.
This is your jam.
It's an 18.
Yeah. So you would know that, like, they're like beasts. Like, they're not necessarily, like, they are hunters, but they're more hunters of opportunity. And they're not necessarily, they're looking to ambush, not necessarily provoke a fight. And you would know that they can be, like any beast, they can be led away or they can be, like, encouraged to leave by other means.
Then what I would do is inform every single person there, everything that I know about fire salamanders, and let them know there. It looks like there's only one.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I would let everybody know everything that I know about fire salamanders, which I'm hoping with what I get, a 31 is just about everything about fire salamanders. But I would tell everybody all the different info so that they would know if one were to show up. The best, like,
you're gonna want to make sure they're ambush hunters. So it's good if you wear like a mask or a face on the back of your head, because it makes them less likely to attack. And if they do attack, you're going to want to make yourself look bigger.
And all the different and actual mechanical stuff as well.
Yeah. And they're quite large. They're very large creatures.
Okay. Then I would definitely let them know that as well. There's one in the vicinity.
Okay.
Willie, I just want to say, like, today wasn't a great example of what Blackwater's about. That's not entirely true. We do kind of do weird shit all of the time, but we do get the job done. And I just want you to know that, and that, like, we're not going to get you killed because we're doing reckless shit. Today was unusually reckless. Like, we're pretty reckless, but some of the shit Khale pulled was interesting. But I just don't want you to get the wrong idea about Blackwater as a whole. We're good at this. We get shit done.
Yes, well, it's look, I've been around the bend a few times in my life, and I know things can get a little hectic out there, and ultimately, it's not about how many times you bob under. It's about whether you float in the end. And we can call what happened today floating.
Yeah, that makes sense. I honestly think what that was a reaction to the fact that we just quite recently fought a god and then immediately fought an archdevil in hell and killed him. And I think that might be like kind of we're feeling a little big for our britches kind of thing. We're feeling maybe a little more immortal, which is not the case, as we found out today. Quite not the case. So maybe growing pains around, fighting gods and whatnot. It's been a wild week. It's been a long week.
What brings you here to the elemental plane of fire?
Oh, we need to talk to Garrix. We've talked to Grumbar and we've talked to Akadi, and Garrix was the next logical step.
Yeah. What business have you with the Fire Lord?
Tim, historically terrible at these, and also Jeremy, can I make an insight check?
Yeah.
I feel like you and Jeremy are the sort of DMs to pull that kind of shit. Can I make an insight check on you two as people? Me, Adam, Lucas, but yeah, no, it's a fucking 8 or 7. I can't remember, but it's bad.
It seems just genuinely curious.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I'm just gonna fill in Willie on the matron of vengeance breaking into our world. We need to shut her off. I just tell him the story of what's happened so far. The Titans are kind of integral to us being able to kind of shut all that down. So we need them.
You're hoping Garrix will pitch in, awake from his slumber, and help with your
hopefully
your little problem.
Little problem is maybe not the most accurate assessment, but yeah, that's the vibe.
I don't say little to belittle the experiences you're having. It's more there have been numerous problems here on the elemental plane of fire. Calamities, just as you do. Monsters, evil people doing this and that over the course of over the decades and centuries. And yet Garrix has remained, let's say, undisturbed by all of that. So that's why I say little. It seems as though there are very few things that could awaken him.
We carry the mark of 2 of his siblings. Maybe that'll be enough.
Tim, I know Jeremy knows a fair amount about Garrix from a classic D&D standpoint, but I don't know as much about this version of Garrix.
Yes.
I imagine that Willie might.
Yes.
with his strong affiliation with wildfire magic and chaos and the cycle of renewal and everything.
Yeah, so you know that the general sort of creation story around the elemental plane of fire. So the Titans originally all lived on the material plane. They created the earth, and then about 2,000 years ago, just over 2,000 years ago, there was a massive war, the Dawn War, and the gods went to war with the Titans. Garrix was one of those Titans that went to war, and he's depicted as a 2-headed dragon, 1 head of gold, 1 head of red. And at the end of the war, as the sort of peace broker, each Titan was given and created their own elemental plane along with the gods. And by doing that, it was a way to keep the peace, and some of the Titans were more punished than others. Akadi was kind of given free reign over the elemental plane of air. Grumbar was sealed away. Although he was returned to the plane of earth, he was doomed to kind of wander the endless sands until he was released. And for the elemental plane of fire, the deal was that they gave Garrix the plane, but then he was kind of put into a slumber. And essentially the legend goes that once he wakes, he's awake for 1,000 years before he slumbers again. And part of it was due to his injuries from the war. It was somewhat imposed by the gods, but also there was a real he needed to heal kind of part of it. And so you know that the kind of philosophy that runs through Garrix and a lot of the people who worship him in the plane of fire is all about balance. It's all about it's all about that kind of remaining balance. And the other part of Garrix waking up is there is a belief that he will wake when the world is out of balance and needs to be rebalanced. that's something that's unique to kind of the native plane of fire folks. Is that strong belief of balance.
Okay. And what he's describing, what Finn is describing sounds like an out of balance situation.
Yes.
Okay. So would the philosophy about like renewal and destruction also kind of be okay?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. So then that's what I would say. This is what I would say. I would look at you and say,
well, it sounds like your problem potentially could be the thing that finally lights the fire underneath the Fire Lord again. But you remember when I was telling you the other day, earlier today, I believe, about destruction and renewal and the importance of death so that new life can spring forth.
Yeah.
Perhaps out of this destruction that's about to happen, new life will spring forth. Maybe that life could be Garrick's. Maybe after the destruction that he experienced, the damage that he experienced in the war, he will become a new form of Garrick's, a new Garrick's who has slept through ages and will emerge renewed. Maybe this calamity that is befalling you and your people will result in all of you being renewed. I know I faced calamities in my time, and while I can't say I always liked the way that I was renewed, I certainly have been permanently changed. And so I can wish you and your friends a good renewal process.
A forest fire is bad for the trees, but good for the forest.
Yes, and ultimately it's good for the trees too.
Yeah, no, that's also true.
Yes, it's a whole process, you see, especially the trees around here. A lot of them actually won't germinate the seeds unless they burn down.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's very cool. Well, I hope it's a positive experience. The trial of Grumbaugh and I can't say those names in an Irish accent, god damn it. Akadi, were harrowing, but I hope that the trial to Garrick's is just the river and that we don't spend a couple of days slogging up a river getting our absolute arses kicked just to do more flippy dippies, but we'll see. Fingers crossed.
Yes, I don't have all of my fingers, but if I did, I would cross them all.
I appreciate that, Willie.
I'll go ahead and tell you, I've been here a long time. I think there's going to be a few more flippy dippies before all this is said and done.
I've got the vibe that that's the truth, yeah.
Yes.
Can I do a quick primeval awareness check to tell if there are any aberrations, celestials, dragons, elementals, fey, fiends, or undead within 6 miles of our present location?
Yes. You sense both a dragon, fairly far out, like into the forest behind you, kind of like right at the edge of your awareness. And you also sense something undead about a mile above you.
Like straight up?
Not quite straight up, but fairly close, like just off a little bit, but kind of moving slowly overhead.
Is that normal? For giant undead things to be flying through the air?
No, it is not normal. It does stick out a little bit.
We need a little bit more tree cover.
Just gonna start like moving things, trying to disguise our campsite.
I've got us, and I'm gonna create a silent image above us of just like tree cover. We should make a physical one as well, but this will hold for now while I'm awake at least.
Have you, by any chance, had any run-ins with any undead beings who might be able to fly?
Yeah, we fucked the Lich a while back, but I'm 90% sure he's dead.
Well, there's
Undead.
something big and undead flying above us right now.
That's bad.
Yes, it's there's a lot of bad things that happen here, but that's not usually one of them.
Can I, with my very good vision face, can I see if I can't see any shapes, or is it like it's just the sky?
You can make a perception check.
I'd love to
Fuck
give
yeah.
an advantage on this.
Sure.
And guidance, heck, I'm throwing it all in.
Oh my gosh! So many dice.
Only because you can see so well in the dark.
Well, that's a natural 19, so we like that. That's a 30.
Okay. So you gaze up into the sky, and it is dark. Like I said, there is no there is never any kind of blue sky here. It is always sort of cloudy. It's more smoky, really. And you do see, like, while the sky that you've experienced so far, for the most part, has been just kind of billowing smoke. Like, it's just sort of like almost like cloud cover, but like more like smog. And then you see the occasional kind of plume of smoke from the land that emanates from, you know, either some of the lava or here and there that you've seen in your journey so far. But you see there is a cloud, almost a kind of blackish cloud that is moving very slowly. It's moving as quickly as any other plume of smoke would, and you just see it just drifting overhead.
Away from us by the looks of things, or?
It's moving. Yeah, it's moving past you.
Okay.
It's basically over top, but it's moving past.
And Willie, you'd see with his goggles on, you'd see his eyes kind of focus and like little wisps of shadow kind of leak out from the edges of the goggles as he focuses up. Can I make a history check? Like, can I make some sort of? Does this ring like a big black bad shadow? Does that like ring any bells for me, or
It does. It just looks like kind of a cloud.
like a bad cloud? Okay.
It's hard.
Do you
and
tell
it's
me?
hard to pick. Like, you don't really pick out any detail. Like, it's not.
I'm seeing like it just looks like a kind of dark cloud to me.
Does that ring any bells for me?
You can make a history check, sure.
Ooh,
Okay.
spicy.
I'm going to continue spamming guidance.
As you must, as one.
We
must.
have a cleric in this party. We spam guidance all the
Guidance,
time.
guidance gets thrown around.
Oh, that's a good thing too. Natural 18,
Nice.
plus 2,
Good
and
rolls
then
tonight.
I guess because it has to do with my favorite terrain, that then becomes a 5, so that becomes 25.
Okay. With the direction, he kind of points, and you can see the direction that it's moving. You kind of think back about what this sort of reminds you of, and you do remember something. It's not something that's talked about a lot now. You remember it talked about more when you were young. As someone who was born and raised here, you know about a place called the Ashen Castle, which is off of the river that you're currently on. It's kind of just off on a small sort of offshoot. You don't exactly know where it is. You know that it's past Bale's Gullet Mine, but the where that offshoot is, it does change depending on how the river naturally changes over the years, just because of it's a lava flow. It's not a waterway.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not exactly sure where it is in relation to how far past Bale's Gullet it is. But the Ashen Castle was somewhere that seemingly popped up. You remember stories from when you were a child of it kind of popping up relatively quickly, and it kind of changed everything. You, I assume, kind of grew up closer to the walled city in one of the villages outside of there. But there used to be, you knew, there was talk of settlements all along the river, all the way up up to the source. And there was other towns and another city as well. But after the Ashen Castle appeared on the river, that stopped. Travel stopped, and essentially the flow of goods from farther upriver became less and less and less. And eventually the boats from Tyne stopped going any farther up the river after Bale's Gullet, because boats weren't either not coming back coming back with less cargo. And there was always sort of stories and things that sort of floated around about sailors being captured or killed, or being so heavily taxed that it wasn't worth it. And eventually they just lost contact with a lot of those villages farther up. And it just kind of became this sort of looming thing that people eventually either forgot or stopped talking about out of fear. But it does sort of tickle that when you hear about the cloud and the kind of like ashy cloud, it does sort of ping that for you.
And that never never fell, that area, like it, or the whatever was the citadel,
the Ashen Castle.
The Ashen Castle, to my knowledge, has never been destroyed or removed. It's still very much there.
It was sort of forgotten about. It just essentially they stopped going past Bale's Gullet Mine, and then it just wasn't an issue anymore, and folks just sort of forgot about it.
Then I would relate that entire story to Finin. And as I'm doing it, I would also cast plant growth. I would cast plant growth to give us some serious cover. That
doesn't sound like a good time.
Make this into a proper grove, so that nothing can see us from above.
Okay.
Right. Cool.
Yes. Hopefully we don't have any further run-ins with beings from there. There's enough problems already, what with fire giants and fire salamanders and who knows what else.
We should tell the others, though. That's just let them know that that's happening.
Yep.
All right. The rest of your watch passes quietly. Who would you like to wake up for second watch?
That's Neppy and Khale, I think, and I'll fill them in on the deets.
And before going to bed, I'm just going to expend one more spell slot to do Primeval Awareness.
Okay.
Just to see if there's, again, anything, like if the undead is gone, I assume the dragon is still roughly at its same position, if I feel the salamander on its way within 6 miles, anything like that.
Does Primeval Awareness cover elementals as well?
Yeah, it hits.
Nice.
It hits basically everything except for like monstrosities.
Amazing.
And
so you do ping a number of creatures kind of within the forest, but nothing super close. The salamander, you do ping kind of a larger elemental, a little ways away. It's not in your vicinity, and like if it was heading towards you, it probably wouldn't get there until near the end of your sleep. So it's still fairly far away, and the dragon is in the same spot, and the undead cloud is a little bit farther ahead, but not that far. It's pretty slow moving.
Okay, I'll just let everybody know roughly where I felt the big stuff before going to bed, and I will give them all a chef's treat and tell them to save it for tomorrow.
Nice. Okay, sounds good. All right, so who's on second watch? Nice, Khale and Neppy. All right, so you get roused, and they fill you in on what's transpired up till now, and you can kind of see where the game trail is and where the alarm spell has been cast. And your watch begins. I'll have you both roll perception checks for me, please.
I will guide myself. Oh my gosh. The small dungeon delver must have been playing with my dice there everywhere. Okay, that is going to be a 24 with guidance.
And an 18 for me.
18. It's fairly quiet. You do hear some breaking of branches a ways into the forest. But other than that, that's kind of a couple hours into your watch. Other than that, it's pretty quiet.
Is Khale still wearing his armor at this point?
Yeah, you would be if he's on watch, yeah.
Okay. Before I kind of get into, it's like Neppy looks at you expectantly. Can I, before I kind of get started with what I'm going to talk to Khale about, can I do an Eyes of the Grave? Just knowing what they've talked to me about with the undead. Is there any that undead? That's a.
It's within what, 60 feet?
It's 60 feet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you'd find that Khale, for like the first time, maybe in the time that you've known him, is slightly sheepish. Like he kind of know he fucked up, and he kind of know that, like he knows he's embarrassed. Like you caught him doing something dumb, and he sort of like doesn't want to make eye contact, and like he tries to play it off like it's not a big deal, but he's definitely kind of slightly uncomfortable because he knows there's a conversation about it coming. So he's kind of like trying to be blasé, but also not make eye contact, in hopes that it'll avoid the conversation.
Okay, well, this might be a very unexpected question. We're decently safe for the moment. Will you take off your breastplate for me? Your armor? I'm curious about your tattoos. If you'd let me see them.
Yeah, of course.
Only if you're comfortable.
I have no problem taking my clothes off.
I know.
Kind of take the breastplate off and the undershirt, just be sort of in my pants.
So what do I see?
On his back, you see the Michael Fast Blaster, this large sort of winged ship, flying ship. And then it's kind of like, well, you on his arm you still see your hand where your hand touched, and then up his arm you see names. You see Vinton, you see Romer, you see Adria. You see like a bunch of names, as well as like faces, and it's basically like it also sort of shifts. Like it moves kind of like, for anyone who's seen the Watchmen TV show, like how Rorschach's mask kind of drifts. It does that slowly. Not that the names dissolve, but they kind of, 1 minute they're a little bit more behind the arm, and then they sort of drift to the front. Mechanically, he has a masquerade tattoo, so he can make the tattoos at will.
Okay.
That's sort of the mechanically how it works. So they're magical tattoos. But yeah, they're mainly like names and faces, and then the big ship on the back that almost, if you watch it for a while, looks like it's rolling through the clouds.
Do you know anything about any of these, or are they just there?
They're just there, but I'm not sure if they're there because I've written them down, or when you're a child, before you're able to form memories, you do things, and then eventually your parents, they describe those memories to you so many times about the things that you did that you can swear you remember them yourself. And a lot of my memories are sort of like that, where I remember this name, but I don't know if I remember the name because it's written on me, or because I wrote it on me because I remember it.
Right. How long have you had these? Do you know?
I didn't. I got this as a gift from Adonis, as a way to try and help me remember, to try and help me catalog the snippets as they came. All I know is that I feel sort of a love and a longing when I hear these names. They were people who were obviously important to me.
Right. But nothing other than that.
See, not when I tried to.
Right.
It's like peripheral vision. As soon as you try and look with your peripheral, you turn and then it's not there anymore. I remember everything from basically when I met Adonis on.
But giant chunks of your life are missing.
Yes, when I sit down and try and think about them. But it'll be strange. I'll be walking down the street and I'll see someone and I'll be like, oh, he's the spitting image of Bill. And then I'll stop and think, who's Bill? And by the time I think of it, I don't even remember who he is. It's very frustrating.
I can imagine so. I would consider myself someone with an impeccable memory. And if I don't have it remembered, it is written down in one of a numerous amount of journals. I can imagine that is feeling like you're grasping at air.
It's exactly that, yes.
What you said last night has stuck with me. It's running around inside my head. That sense of wondering whether to go back if you died, or if you would go back, if there was something to go back to. And after today, I'm not worried, Khale, about you in any capacity, and contrary to my harsh tone earlier, which I apologize for, I am not angry with you. I think something that I have been trying to work on as a person is that all my life I have lived an exceedingly ordered existence. Planned, scripted, divined. From when I was a child, everything is routine. You wake up, you do your prayers, you do your chores, you eat, you pray some more. It's a very rote. And after I left Finland and I set off into the world, my life was of course upended, and I needed to find a new routine for myself, which I did. And then Blackwater, in our very earliest days, fell in my lap. And that was an amount of chaos I was not prepared for. And then I fell in love. And that was certainly nothing that I had ever been prepared for. That is certainly not routine or rote or scripted. It was not divined anywhere that I was allowed to fall in love. And so I think my life has been a constant state of trying to recalibrate. And this is particular when it comes to my work, being keeping you all alive and doing my job as the High Priestess of Neppy. I need to be aware, and I need to be able almost to predict what you do so that I can account for it. And I am not saying that you need to change anything about yourself. I just need to know if I need to be prepared for you to be reckless all the time. Because I will be. I just need to know. I say that with no malice or feigned saccharine. It is true and genuine as your friend, as someone who cares for you.
I am very sorry for how that worked out.
You don't
I
need to be, Khale.
I do. I mean, for the longest time, at least in my short memory of spending time with Adonis, there has been no negative consequences to risks I've taken. Everything I've done has always worked out. And then I joined you and I kept doing those things, and I always flew when I needed to fly. And then we lost the mandolin. And that was consequence, and it was not something I enjoyed. And then yesterday I stood on the edge of that boat and I thought of jumping in, and it was as if there was voices in my head telling me not to do it. And that doubt was far worse for me than losing the mandolin. I have never felt that doubt before. And I knew I shouldn't have. But giving into it was... it just felt so wrong. So I
don't
need
mean
to
add to your guilt. I truly don't. I apologize if that's...
No, it's not a guilt of doing it. It's the fact that I doubted whether or not I would be okay. I had all of a sudden, I had an attachment. I had a reason to be cautious. And I hated that.
They do that. We do that.
I'm not saying... I think I might have known balance once, and I think I might need to figure it out again. But I will definitely look before I jump next time. And I'm not saying that because you've made me feel guilty or bad. I'm saying that because I almost took Callie with me. And that is just unacceptable.
That sense of not having attachment, or being told, or feeling like you've ever had attachment. I know that innately. I wasn't allowed to have friends. Hardy tried to keep half dish and I separated, doing our work as much as possible. But we became friends anyway. I would like to offer you something, whether that is tonight or any other night or time. And I am going to pull out a small handful of almost like conical incense. They would be like more like that pasted incense that's pressed into cones that you would light and they would burn. It's quite a large handful as well. And I'm going to open my other hand and you are going to see beautiful, like 4 beautiful pieces of ivory that have been crusted in gold and that have infernal runes on them. I think I might be able to put some words or story to the names on your body. I wish to help you tell the legend of that story, so that maybe those thoughts of consistently looking backward, wondering if it's better, can either be confirmed or put to rest.
I would need to think on it.
Of course. Of course.
That's it's very exciting.
I can't promise you it'll work, but I can certainly try.
It's mildly terrifying.
Yes.
Part of me would be scared. I don't know why I left or how I left. I don't know. I will think about it. One thing you would notice is, as he sort of internalizes this offer and exactly what it would mean, and he starts thinking about these things, and he starts slipping his shirt on. As it sort of comes down over his chest, you would see the ink sort of drift and shift, and you would catch just in Infernal, you would just catch of pleasure drifting across as he pulls it down.
Did you want me to roll a check for that to see if I clock it, or are you letting me know that I clock it?
I think that he would have
Showed
in this
me?
sort of
Essentially?
no, not showed you. I think it would have been sort of in the flustered nature of the offer. It would have, and him thinking he'd sort of pulled the shirt far enough down, you would just sort of sneak that out.
In Abyssal, it would be an Abyssal.
Oh, Abyssal. My apologies.
You would hear Neppy's got a very high passive perception. Her eyes just and you would hear her say the word that she saw in Abyssal.
Sorry?
I just read a word written on your body. In Abyssal, Khale.
These memories, I tell you, they're very strange. Like smoke.
I know, he's full of shit. I don't need to roll an insight check for that. I would follow you and care for you and protect you wherever you go. You just have to tell me first. Please. If something is running around in your brain, please just tell me first so I can help. We'll try and stop you, one of the two.
Of course.
I just lean over and just give him a little shove with my horns. And I put my ivory in I burn a little bit of the incense just as something pleasant. And we finish our watch.
Yep. All right. Letters and Callie. You get roused from your sleep.
You're muted, Sean.
Do I have a full long rest at this point?
Yes, you have had a full long rest.
Thank God.
11.
Let me just say, if I had helped with that boat, I would have gone down.
That would be very on brand. No, I gotta help. I gotta
help. I gotta help.
What was your perception check for me, please?
Yikes. 14.
Okay.
And letters.
Yeah.
What scary cloud? I don't see shit.
What cloud?
These few fucking scary clouds and firemander snoots or whatever, like y'all give the scar shit, but this place fucking sucks.
Yeah, this place is too hot. Yeah.
As you are both sitting there.
Oh, false. Of course.
After a couple of hours go by, and you know it's hot here. This is a hot place, but you have the little chill stones, and that has been helping. But you both you start to get uncomfortably hot as you feel the like tops of your head are getting incredibly hot.
Damn.
Fuck, look up.
Both take 5 fire damage as you both look up, and you see a massive mouth kind of hovering right above you.
No, none above letters
With
and
the
Cali.
new tree cover, it appears as though the fire salamander you were told about has managed to kind of come around and is now right over top of you.
Oh no.
Does it know we're here? Or is
Oh,
it just chilling in the tree, breathing
It's
on
like
us? Oh
straight
no, it
up
knows we're
trying
there.
to eat us.
It is
What?
right above you.
I hate that you've put a mouth of a creature above the 2 people in our party that classically get eaten the most.
You have a split-second decision to make. What would you like to do? It is right above you.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we're gonna roll initiative. For
Oh,
3
boy.
of us.
Oh boy.
Would this have not triggered my alarm?
Bad.
It seems to have gone around.
Smart.
Smart.
Actually, I'll roll a d100. No, its tail, because it's very large, its tail just triggers it. So, Willie, your eyes kind of shoot open. You can roll initiative as well.
Okay. Let's see here. Oh no, I have a +5 bonus. Never mind. It's a 22.
Oh, yeah, 22 also.
All right. What is who's faster, letters or?
I think I've got a +5. I'm tough to beat.
You're definitely faster than Willie. Willie's an old man. He ain't that spry.
That's
what was
because
yours,
letters
Callie?
adds his initiative.
Oh, mine
intelligence.
was a 4.
4.
Oh, I have a +6 to initiative. If that's what we're going.
Oh,
with.
yeah.
So it
And
is
you
really
are
first.
more
I'm
spry than
+6.
I.
Yes.
Willie's
So-
just got quick reflexes.
So, Willie, your eyes snap open and you see the salamander in the trees above the 2 of them. They seem to have not noticed just as they look up. What is your first? What would you like to do first?
Okay, so I see the salamander. It is above us. Do I know whether it? Do I know that it has, or whether it has? I guess resistances, vulnerabilities, immunities, and whatnot. Just from my, I did get a 31. I'm gonna ride
Yes.
that 31.
You do know that it is it's vulnerable to cold damage, and it is immune to fire damage.
Okay, then I am going to. Have I gotten a long rest, or does this count as me not having had a long rest yet?
You are just finishing up your long rest, so yeah, we'll say you've had your long rest.
Okay, excellent. Then what I'm going to do, this thing is directly above us. I'm like, this could get bad. I don't want Willie's. Let's see. What bonus actions do I have here? Let me just make sure, because I have an idea of an action.
Guys, I don't want to get eaten by a salamander.
I know
Okay.
it's gonna happen to Callie.
Weirdly,
I've already
I do.
I'm kind of into it.
I will say, Willie, it hasn't struck yet.
Right.
It could have taken a surprise attack, but it hasn't yet.
Okay, so it hasn't actually attacked. Does it look like it's going to?
It's only, they've taken damage only because of proximity. You're not sure.
Okay. Would it be an action to roll an insight check on the salamander?
No, you can roll an insight check.
Okay. Come on, insight. So do I get the additional, do I get the bonus for the favored terrain and whatnot?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Then that becomes a 17.
17. It does look hungry. But it does look like it was waiting for the right time to strike.
Okay.
But it hasn't yet. And now, like, it has noticed that you're awake as well.
Well, then I'm just gonna go all out and see what I can do. Let's see if we can flash freeze this thing. I'm going straight up cone of cold.
Okay, yeah.
I'm gonna angle it in such a way that it's not going to hit my companions if possible.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be like,
not today, Sonny.
and blast a cone of cold. I'm going to need a DC 19 Constitution saving throw.
That is only a 16.
Dear God. I'm going to use my dice roller so as to. So this thing is vulnerable to cold damage.
Yeah.
Do you want me to roll 16 d8s or only?
Do it.
Okay.
Yeah, roll 16 d8s. That's the more fun way to do it.
Yeah. Create a more even bell curve.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's going to be 61 cold damage. That I just.
As you watch it kind of like rear back and its tongue lashes out as it looks over at you, and like you can see it, like the cold just like rips across its body. It looks angry. All right, it is.
Wait, I have a bonus action.
Yes. I'm
going to tell Rupert to. Rupert is going to run up and start attacking.
Okay.
On this turn.
Yeah.
So Rupert's going to run up and just jump onto it. So he's going to roll an attack roll. Let me see. He rolled a natural 13. I think he gets a plus. Let me see. What does he get to his attacks? Oh, plus 8 to hit.
Nice.
So
Rupert,
that's going to be
a legend.
Yeah. So Rupert's going to deal a little bit of damage here. That's going to be 8 piercing damage.
Nice.
And
Rupert kind of bites down on its tail.
Mm-hmm.
Chomp.
And he is immune to fire damage. So he just bites it. And then Willie's just going to be like,
heads up, folks. We've been made.
All right. It is now Letter's turn. We'll go through once, and then everyone else will get to roll initiative as you wake up.
So I'm not a crazy animal handler, but I did get the sense that this animal was like we caught it sort of mid thing, and this is the equivalent of spraying the cat with some water, being like, no, get out of here. And then there's a little yappy dog being like, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna try something here. It's not quite diplomacy, but it's close.
Oh no.
No,
I want
to
freak the fuck out of this. I've been around enough fucking sand spiders to know that if you tell a wild animal that's not a good idea to be here, they can take the hint and go find something easier. So I just want to stand up and just be like, go on, get out of here. And at the same time, I'd love to cast Sending. So I'd like to shout out as loud as I can outside and also send directly into its head the same like unintelligible, get out of here, you don't need us, get the fuck out of here. That's my turn.
Okay, make an intimidation check at advantage, and you can use strength, absolutely, if you like.
Yes, you legend.
You're making your body quite large.
Absolute cool DM. Letters is demoralized as a 13.
It's still pretty effective, even though that's low. it seems to be more focused on Willie as the immediate threat because it's hurt, but it definitely is like disoriented and like kind of scrambling.
I'm just gonna stick to it. I want to get like 10 feet away from it. I want to be like right in its face. If I could summon a broom, I would. Go
Right. It is the salamander's turn,
Yeah.
and it is going to flee. You watch as it's going to use its full movement and dash, so it can take an attack of opportunity for Rupert if you'd like.
Yeah, let's send it out. Let's send it out of here with a bruised. Does a 17 hit?
17 just hits, yes.
Okay. We send it out here with another 8 points of piercing damage.
All right, so you it bites off the end of its tail, just like the very tip, as Rupert kind of rips it across, as it just barrels into the tree line, 80 feet. And you can hear kind of crashing of branches as it just wildly flees.
Does it bite off the tail, or does it leave the tail in embarrassed fear as an offering to the apex
Does it shed its
predators?
tail?
Yeah.
I mean, that's up to you to decide. But yes, part of its tail does remain. And it has begun to flee. Callie, it is your turn. It is 80 feet away from you. You are muted and eating. This is what Callie was mid-bite on her ration. I was like, oh, guys, let me go.
I don't think there's anything I can do at 80 feet. I don't think I'm really equipped for that. I'm not going to chase it.
Okay. So yeah, you watch as it just careens through the forest, breaking branches, making quite a bit of noise as it continues into the forest.
That's probably the biggest thing out here, right, Willie?
Oh no, there's actually a dragon about 6 miles that way, and there was the cloud.
Oh yeah, I heard about the bad fart in the sky. That sounds terrifying. Hey, okay, everybody, it's all right. It was a salamander. It's just trying to be friendly. Everyone, go back to sleep. It's
Yeah,
all
so
right.
kind of you're all sort of waking up with the noise of this.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, no,
Let me
it's
just
fine. It's fine. It's fine.
tuck it back in.
Don't worry, we've got Callie and Letters on watch. Nothing sneaks up on us.
Okay. It is
How did it
effectively.
Oh, go ahead.
All right. It is effectively continuing to run. Would you like to do anything else in initiative before we drop out of initiative?
Yeah, I'll let it go.
Finin will just. I'm
Do
gonna
the-
shoot 3
Okay.
Eldritch Blasts, but not at it. Just basically bursting tree branches next to
Yeah.
it. Just kind of
Yeah.
just half asleep and just kind of.
Because everyone wakes up in initiative.
Yeah.
It was.
All right. Is
Do
there
I
anything
know
you'd
if?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Do I know if fire salamanders are usually live in groups, or are they usually solitary?
It depends. If it's mating season, they usually come in groups. If it's out of mating season, they're usually solo. I will let you make a nature check to see whether or not it is mating season.
Bow, chicken,
Oh.
bow, bow.
Okay, we're gonna give guidance on this one. Be like, lick the finger.
Do I sense pheromones? Do I sense pheromones?
Nature check.
Please don't make us
says a
fade to
plus
black
10.
on the salamanders.
Is it horny lizard
It's a
season?
dirty 20.
It is mating season.
Oh no.
And that's where we're going to take our break.
Fade to black.
Sucking my souls out.
Oh,
Jeez.
I love
Thank you everyone who is hanging out with us in chat tonight. Our break is oh my gosh, all 51 of you. Holy bananas. Our break is a tight 8 minutes. So grab yourself some snacks, grab yourself a tasty cool beverage for the fire elemental plane, and then we're back to lizard mating season. Super fun. We will see you back in a tight 10. Bye, guys. Bye.
Bye.
hey guys, it's me, Adam, and I'm here to talk to you about the sponsor for tonight's episode, Legendcraft. Legendcraft is a Canadian woodworking company that makes D&D and tabletop gaming tables and accessories. They are a couple of passionate crafters that create items that will instantly become a highlight of any tabletop or RPG player's game night. An absolute favourite of mine is the Mountain King board gaming table. This table is bonkers cool, looking like it is straight out of a Dwarven King's Hall. It's really unlike anything I've ever seen. We feel really good about endorsing this Canadian business that brings so much passion into something we care so deeply about. So head over to their Instagram at legendcraft.ca to have a look at what they're making and let them know that Blackwater sent you. And if any of you fall in love with any of their amazing products, you can go to their website and use the promo code Blackwater for 5% off. It supports a Canadian business and also helps support our stream in this crazy D&D game we love. Thanks, and enjoy the rest of the show.
Hello.
Right.
It's mating season, Tim.
It's mating season. So you just hear
Speaking of
kind
which, I gotta go.
careen into the forest.
Tastes like semen. Salamander semen. We should be here.
Willie, I need you to look around. Is this a sexy area for salamanders? Like, is there something in the sand here that gets them crazy? I need to know.
Are we on a big waterbed?
Let me put it this way. If you were a salamander, you could hear slow jam music along this whole coastline.
That's
So-
a bad
Everything.
thing, right?
So
for
instead
us?
of picking
Yes.
fire giants,
Slow jam is a
on-
fire. It's a fire genre of music,
Right,
which
right, that makes sense.
sort of a mood setting thing. It's you slowly jam it.
So instead of picking the side with the fire giants, we picked the side with.
The horny sex lizards.
I mean, you
Yes.
said it, not me.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
right.
Well,
I know that in
Um,
Dresda there is a type of lizard called the horny dragon, but it's like it's got spines. That's where its name comes from.
They're everywhere at Filenis
yeah.
During the.
I wonder how they
mating
tease.
season. Not bad.
Oh, excellent.
Well, the good news is they're looking for love, not trouble. So as long as we make this look scary enough and unappealing and unsexy, y'all can go back to sleep.
Willie, Tim, have I got enough sleep to have a long rest?
No, because you were in.
I was in the first one, yeah.
you were in,
No, but you said I'd
Oh,
have
yeah,
a long
yeah,
rest.
yeah.
It's just
Yeah, you're
it's
right, you're
just
right.
Okay.
it's just Khale and
Willie, do you know if the fire salamanders have any like natural predators?
Can I ask you, DM? Because there's a pile of
Yes.
questions in my head.
Yes,
So
yes.
if mating season means that fire salamanders are more likely to congregate, which means that if we're following the most dangerous animal is a wounded animal principle, it's possible they could show up with more. Would that be a
Could,
fair? Okay.
And you would know that the males tend to be more aggressive at this time. Like males seem to be much more aggressive during mating season.
Right.
Um,
Okay. Do I then also know the two questions are this? One, do they have any natural predators?
Mhm.
And question number two is that dragon, if we were to approach that dragon and perhaps make a bargain with that dragon, do I know enough about the dragons around here, being a draconic creature myself, to know whether or not they might be interested in the goal of awakening Garrix, and also maybe whether they might eat fire salamanders, and whether or not this dragon could be a big boon to the whole situation, were we to barter with it?
You would know a number of dragons do pass through the plane. There are a few dragons that make the plane home. One subspecies is the flame dragon, which is almost like a supercharged red dragon. They essentially live in the magma, and their heat is a lot more intense. Generally, though, because of the nature of the walled city, they do steer pretty far away from the fire giants, as that is the only thing on this plane that generally can threaten their lives at any point, because the fire giants can coordinate and take great lengths to protect, especially the city from fire, dragon attacks. That being said, you know, there are other types of dragons that do come through here, bronze dragons and brass dragons and red dragons, of course, and gold dragons. The dragon is pretty far away, and you've lost, like, it's a pretty decent trek to try to even get close to it. And you do know that they eat fire salamanders. Fire salamanders are kind of middle tier on the food chain here. They are not, they're not the bottom of the food chain, but they definitely are the top of the food chain. And they are kind of abundant in this particular area. Kind of a mid-side, like mid-level predator and scavenger. So there are a number of things that eat them. Some of the flame rexes, that is often like, it would be the equivalent of like a group of raptors could take down a T-Rex, most likely. A group of fire salamanders could probably take down a flame rex, but one-on-one, the flame rex is going to win every time. And there are there are stories of, and you've seen a herd of gorgon, but those are much farther up the river, and they're more sort of, they don't eat fire salamanders, they just sort of protect against them.
Okay. And if we were to get into the boat, do these things swim? Like, would they be able to catch us if they were to try and chase us?
They can swim, but they generally are not, because of the nature of this area. They know that the fishermen are kind of prepared to deal with them in the water, and a lot of the cargo ships that come down, you know, have means to kind of fend off anything coming out of the lava. So they generally, like in this area, don't really hunt within the magma.
Okay.
But they can swim.
Cool. So I would then answer Finnan's question by basically listing the creatures that eat them. But I would also inform everybody,
look, folks, we need to move. It is mating season. These things are getting territorial. Then there's a very good chance that a whole group of these bruisers will come showing back up and get revenge for what we did to their comrade.
The only thing would be that Khale and I will need to sleep 4 hours on the boat.
Right.
And that's fine. I'm obviously all right to do so. But we should. Khale and I am not at my full capacity. I'm quite all right if I need to stay awake for another day. But I know Khale could probably do with the rest of his rest.
What say the rest of you? Take to the boats?
I say we get to the boats. I can give us a little bit of space. And I'm going to kind of pull my hands together. A little bit of sheep's wool in my hand as I kind of pull a circle, and shadows kind of coalesce and light kind of coruscates through the trees and forms into a fire rex. And then I'm going to cast minor illusion to create the sound of it roaring, because I'm assuming I heard the fire rex we saw the other day roar. So I'm going to make that like a big trumpeting roar to kind of just announce its presence in the area. And I'm like, hopefully that'll keep kind of the bad shit at bay. Well, no, I think that's good for the time it takes us to get back on the river. But I think we should get back on the river.
No, I can shrink the boat. Look, I don't think we want to go up unless we're fully manned.
It's only 4 hours. It's 4 hours.
Yes.
No, I can maintain this for that long. That's
You're
fine.
up. You're feeling fresh. I'm feeling fresh. Fine. You two take a rest. You work hard. You're a cleric. Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Thank you, ladies.
Do you stay here while you rest?
Yeah, I'll stay here.
The illusion up.
Yeah. Neppy and
basically
Khale
it's just
would
like walking
catch
around the
shut-eye.
edge of the camera.
In the grove without there's quite a bit of tree cover, so it's like trying to keep the illusion up.
Clips through some stuff.
It's definitely clipping.
So the vote is for us to stay here until everybody has finished their long rest rather than getting onto the boat?
Yep.
I think it'll be hard to achieve a long rest on the boat.
And I gotta move for me. I would like to tell me if I'm allowed to have this happen, but I would like to use, for the first time, I would like to use my wildfire spirit ability and basically I'd like to pound my little stick on the ground and turn to Rupert and say,
Death Lord, It's time to take to the skies.
And like all of these sparks fly off, sort of like fireflies, and surround Rupert and like raise him into the air. And bursting from his back are a pair of flaming wings. His claws, his teeth all turn to flames, and his eyes are glinting. It looks like flaming eyes as he's just floating there. And I would like to, if you would allow me, ride him around the perimeter for the next hour to make sure that there's nothing coming.
That's dope as hell, dude.
Make a perception check at advantage because you're up in the air. You've got to go height.
Willie, you do hear Finin kind of go, oh. Just as you like get on Rupert's back, Finin's just kind of like, oh.
I guidance myself as well. That makes that a 27.
Okay. You do see, kind of closer to the end of that hour as you're kind of flying around, you see probably about just over 1,000 feet away, you start to see groups of trees kind of go up in flames. As you can see what looks like fire breath kind of pushing up in a smaller cone. You would know that fire salamanders have kind of a fire breath. And you can see some of it kind of moving towards you, this kind of wave that's probably about 120 feet wide, like across, just kind of moving towards like pockets of like trees are going up in your direction.
Yep.
Still about 1,200 feet away, so you would guess it's, you still got a few minutes.
Yeah, I would speed down there and say,
all right, folks, we're gonna have to get on the boat.
Yeah, okay, we'll sleep on the boat.
Yeah, sleeping on the boat.
Let's get
Sleep on
moored.
the tiny boat, and I reduce the boat for Infernus to put. In
Infernus is still underneath it. He is. Not
oh, what? He didn't wake up.
No way.
I wait for Infernus to get out from under his fucking canoe and contribute. He didn't take watch.
Yeah.
What do you need, a giant-sized fucking sleeping shift? Come on, get up.
Kind of like stands up in front of you and puts the boat
Sorry,
back
I'm
down.
surly in the morning. My bad.
He hasn't had his spider milk yet. Apologies.
Yeah. He kind of flips over the boat.
You want the tiny boat, though?
Sure.
Yeah, okay, tiny boat. I make the
right.
boat tiny.
So he he flips it around. He kind of like, he starts pulling it towards the bank and kind of pushes it into the lava. He kind of like gestures as you all climb aboard. Do you let go of the spell once it's in the magma?
Yeah, so it's big enough for everybody to get inside.
You all climb aboard, and you see like the tree line behind you like starting to just erupt in flame. As you can see, there are what looks like maybe a dozen fire salamanders coming towards where your camp was.
Tim,
Mm-hmm.
if Khale wakes up enough to cast a spell, is it gonna fuck my long rest?
No, you'd be able to go back to sleep, I'd say, and finish your long rest.
Okay. As the boat sort of starts to drift away from the edge, Khale will. Oh, sorry, that was the wrong one. Come on.
And you see them, Finin, they all kind of leap towards the flame wrecks and all kind of pile on top of each other.
Finin has like his arms are wreathed in like a writhing galaxy of purple and like stars, and he's just standing at the end of boats that just like just like shooting as many as he can.
Khale will just sort of casually reach over and whip out a bunch of glittering gem dust, and as it sort of hovers in front of him, it'll sort of coalesce and then move out, and I'll cast Wall of Force along the bank of the
Nice.
Okay.
the river.
Yeah, so you see, like, as some of them like get close to the edge of the river, you see the male's frill kind of pops out as it kind of shakes, and they leap off into the water, only to like boom, hit against the wall of force and kind of scramble back.
Oh my gosh.
And this causes them to like crash into each other, and you can see they start fighting. The males start fighting each other as it just kind of erupts into chaos on the bank as you get farther into the lava flow.
Hell yeah.
Well, I'm going to take my rest. So if you need me, of course, please wake me, but Please don't, if you don't need me.
And Furnace kind of like pulls over the metal slats to kind of make the little like awning cover, connects it to the other side.
Khale, I hope you can fall asleep quickly, and I'm going to use my once daily use of darkness to give us a little bit of darkness to help us fall asleep.
All right. So you head into sleep, and you start your day on the second day on the Allura Run. The day passes. You do finish up your rest after
Awesome.
3 hours.
Woohoo! And we
you
still
start-
have those extra hit points from
yeah.
Willie, correct?
11, yeah.
Hello.
About midday, you see there are other boats coming towards you.
Oh, no kidding.
You can see there is a few boats starting to come towards you.
Can I see anything about these boats?
Yeah, making a perception check for me.
Okay. Guidance here in this family. Okay, so that becomes a 13, becomes to a 28.
28, yeah. You can see they are cargo ships. You know that at the Valente landing, the larger ships that come from the mine then get offloaded onto smaller ships because of this part of the river is quite a bit more narrow and more fast running. So the ships are coming at you with more speed than you are to them because you guys are going upriver. So they're designed to be light and fast. And generally, like, these ships try to make that 3-day run in one go. So often ships like get damaged by the end. But you can see there is like a team of fire newts with a fairly heavily loaded long riverboat just like zips by you. And you see a few ships pass you as you're going.
What are they carrying?
You can see they're mostly loaded up with ore. A lot of it is raw ore from the mine. You do see one ship that goes by with piles of coal. And a few hours go by, and that first kind of convoy passes you of about 6 ships. They all kind of maneuver around you relatively quickly, and you can see most of them are paddle powered, as they're all just like rowing in sync. And about 2 hours go by, and you see another ship coming towards you. And again, it looks like another cargo ship, but this one is moving a little bit slower. And just passes you. You can see it's more loaded up than the others have been. It seems to be like this was maybe the last ship that got loaded up with everything that was left. And you can see there is piles of coal as well as ore. And you can see there is a kobold crew of about 4. And just as they get by you, I'll have everyone make a passive perception or a perception check for me, please.
17 for letters. Very good.
26.
21.
27.
27. Okay.
15.
So
25.
nice. Finin and Khale, you notice this. You notice a movement on the west bank, and you see a ship launch behind you, probably about 90 feet. And the kobold ship just passes you and is about 30 feet behind you when the other ship moves to intercept. And you see they get within 30 feet. So they're about 60 feet from where you guys are in your boat. There's a ship 30 feet behind you, and 30 feet behind that, you see another ship with 2 fire salamanders, not the bestial kind, but the more sentient creatures, more humanoid-like creatures. You have come across them before.
So to clarify, there's a difference between the fire newts and the fire salamanders.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then there's 2 different types of fire salamanders.
Yes, there's sort of the bestial elemental, and these are more kind of sentient humanoid-like.
Cool.
Long tails. They don't have legs. They have kind of long tails. But you have come across them before in Wolfreen during the Battle at Gatestone Keep.
Yeah.
You see 2 of them with like fairly hefty spears, and you see a dwarf-like creature with a kind of fiery head. You know, as the Azer, and you watch as that creature, the Azer, stands at the front of the boat, and you watch he pulls out a flask, and you watch as he uncorks it, a geyser of water shoots out of this thing around the ship, and you watch all of the lava around the ship now hit with water start to like freeze up into rock and stone around it, and the ship grinds to a halt as you see all the kobolds kind of like scrambling as that ship is now moving to intercept.
Should we get involved, or do we mind our own business?
Is this piracy?
Looks like.
Can I roll an insight check? See what's up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is this something I've seen before? Like, do I know these folks? Okay, so that's a 24.
24. You would know these are likely river pirates, which are common, especially in this part of the run, or far. Sometimes they go after the bigger ships, but river pirates are a thing here, and you would know that like those folks in the A's are definitely river pirates. The kobolds, you kind of recognize them in like you maybe know one of them.
I can throw something down that might give the kobolds a fighting chance if we just want to keep going.
I'm gonna turn to the group and say,
Now, folks, I've got an idea here. What do we say to maybe trying to add a second boat to our fleet?
Yeah.
Gonna need
Wait.
a minute with that captain,
Yeah.
and I might be able to get them to join
Yeah.
us.
Let me help you out. I'm gonna cast fly on Willie. Absolutely.
Are you pitching that we pirate the pirates?
Unclear,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
trust this man implicitly.
Infernus, we're pirating the pirates.
if fire has been cast on me, Willie is just going to like rise, like.
I am going to reach over to Willie before, as he leaves, and I'm going to cast enhanced ability on him for charisma.
Okay. Then
For good measure, I cast fly on Willie and myself.
I would like to fly over to this boat out of like, so I'm not immediately within range. Let me see what the range.
Yeah, you see the like as you fly over, you see the two the fire salamanders with like long spears kind of like at the ready, and you see the Azers kind of there.
I'm gonna gather shadow and light around me, kind of more light at the moment because of all the flames, and I'm gonna lift up off of the ship as well and fly. I'm gonna shroud and just as back up. I'm just gonna be with Willie.
This is a real Hail Mary, but
I
would
love it.
like.
I love it. We're here for you.
I would like to fly 60 feet above this boat and cast Gaius on the captain.
Okay.
Oh
Yes.
It takes a
What kind of
minute
save?
to. It's a wisdom saving throw. DC 19.
That's a 13.
I place the magical command. I think Willie's eyes glow so bright you can see them through his black goggles. It's like these points of light, like draconic eyes glowing through. And he speaks down.
You will come with us wherever we may go and protect us with your life and order your crew to protect us with their lives, as well as taking any orders I give you.
And you watch as he stops and he looks up at you and he turns to the crew, and you can see the salamanders are like confused as hell.
Also, thank you, Madbird, for the raid. Thank you so much, Kaka. Hello.
Also, we didn't say it out loud, but tells us Viseria raided us earlier, and thank you.
Yes, thank you so much.
We were in the middle of a very heavy moment.
And you see the Azer kind of turn to the two salamanders. We have to go with him now. And you're like, he's gonna make an intimidation check.
Can I give him advantage?
I was gonna say, can I give him the help action? Just be like
flying people.
Yeah, I would be like, it's that or die. Like
He didn't need. He rolled a natural 19.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
So you like kind of look at each other like, and they like kind of bring their spears down, and you can see the kobolds on the other boat are kind of like hanging on your every word as they're sort of like looking, and you can see they're frantically trying to break up the stone. Like they've pulled out like these long kind of spiked poles, and you watch they're just like desperately trying to break up the stone so they can keep moving. and the two salamanders kind of flip their spears, and you see on the other end of their spears are paddles that they then kind of like sink into the lava as the Azer kind of turns to you. We will follow you.
Yeah. All right. Sail your boat up alongside us.
I turn to the fire salamanders and I say,
Don't worry, fellas. Got some good food for you later.
They seem pretty intrigued by that.
Willie, how long is this?
30 days.
Holy shit! Okay,
This is great.
awesome.
As the ship comes parallel to ours, letters just like casually floating off the stern of ours just says, "Don't worry, fellas. Where we're going, there's something a lot more valuable than what's on that ship." And I wink to camera.
I'm going to cast a tidal wave to wash the little kobold boat.
Okay.
Off
Yeah,
of the rocks.
to help with that, Finn's gonna just blast the rocks and try to crack up the lava.
You kind of push the lava, and it just like whoosh, pushes them over, and continues on. Is like, thank you.
Bye. Tell all your friends that Blackwater and our good friend Willie here, helped you out. Spread the word, brand awareness.
Willie,
Hi,
it's your
Phineas.
cousin, Phineas.
Yeah.
It's your cousin.
Yeah, go suck a rock, Phineas.
Oh,
You're
okay.
welcome.
That's that
I won't be at the next family reunion, but you can tell them I'm still alive. Still alive.
Willie, I like your energy. I hope I'm like you when I'm older. Fight out of the
It
Or
continues on.
at least one of your heads.
one of my heads, yeah. Oh yeah,
As-
Willie, I didn't tell you. I'm growing a new head.
Really? Where?
Yeah. Oh look, and I show like a little lump that's on my neck. That's gonna be a head in like a couple of years or something.
Its name is Bracia.
Bracia, yeah. It means extra or unwanted one.
Can I do a medicine check on this head?
Yeah, absolutely.
As I see what Willie's doing, he goes, Anna?
I ate a heart and it gave me this.
I'll go ahead.
I'll give you advantage on that medicine check just for fun.
Does this get my favorite terrain bonus as well? Okay.
So
All right.
far.
Okay, let's still a 24.
24. Yeah. You can see it is a lump, and you can see that it's like it's not fully smooth. It is like a little rough, and you can see there's like a few little hairs on it. And yeah, it like you wouldn't know it if you just saw it. You wouldn't necessarily think like that's for sure a second head. It's like it's only like this big at the moment. But he does describe, I assume, Finn, did you describe the process by which he ate a mythical giant's heart, and it has since caused him to start to grow an extra head.
And Willie, from what I understand, the sky is kind of the limit on how many heads I can have. Just like I can just keep getting more heads. When they say 2 heads are better than 1, I might just be one man with 5 heads, and I could just like really be better than everyone else.
Trixie's a lucky girl.
Hideous though, hideous, I'm sure. Trixie will date me right up until Bracia comes out, and then we'll split. And
Next,
I'll
Neppy
never
just
win.
chuckles.
Bracia-
Neppy
when
chuckles
Bracia-
to herself.
When Bracia comes out, does she come out as like a baby that then ages into an adult, or does she come out a fully formed adult?
I'm really excited that you've assigned a gender to the new head. I was assuming it would share my gender, but that's wild to consider that could actually happen.
Well,
I didn't mean to assume. I'm
not
more
at all,
curious.
not at all.
You're skipping the part about is it going to be a baby?
I don't
from
know.
what I remember, when we
Bracia.
fought Moro's
Could be a baby.
fight, the heads could speak separately and seemed to have different personalities.
And they
One
were
of them
really
was a bit
fugly.
One of them was a bit bitier than the others,
Yeah.
and one seemed more
Some
angry.
were smaller.
And some were smaller.
Hopefully Bracia isn't a biter. Because that's my face that's going to feel the kind of
Just
brunt
like
of that.
pieces missing out of your ear.
I mean, the best way to discourage biting is to bite back harder, but that's real difficult if it's on your neck.
Yeah, it's kind of
No.
hard.
No.
That's fair.
Yeah.
maybe you'll need to hire someone to come bite the other head for you.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, that's why
Rupert
you grow the other head and you pit them against one another.
Oh, exactly.
Give them something to bite. Yes, divide and conquer. Hey, so we have pirates now. That's tight.
Yeah,
they've pulled up along behind you. And they're like, you can see the salamanders are working hard to keep up with your like mechanically powered bow.
I'll hang out with them. I'll help. I'll be like,
should
yo,
we
what's
like
up,
tie
fellas?
them off? In
Yeah.
fairness, is there a way for us to like make this?
It'll slow us down. We don't want to do that.
We don't
that's
tie
fair.
ourselves
And if we
to
need to
them.
lose them,
That's
can-
fair. They
The
also
word is
like
sacrifice, not
good
loot.
giant bait. Yeah,
Yeah.
we feel good about this, right? I feel a little like
I think
have.
we
I feel
probably
great
should
about
help him.
this.
We can cut the rope if need be. I think we should at least tie him off for the time being.
Okay.
But it will slow
As long
us.
as they can keep us, if they can keep pace, then it'll be fine. But if they start slowing down, they're gonna drag our boat.
In
especially if
fairness,
we have
check
to
this
get
J
through
stroke. We
the
got
Allura
this.
Run.
Nice
Ah.
J-stroke.
Thank you.
If Letters is helping out, I will give him enhanced ability for strength. To do that.
That actually looks like a really good workout. I'm gonna spend a couple hours myself. Yeah.
I'll have Rupert jump into the lava and push their boat from behind as well.
Just
Yeah, it's just like swimming along.
Swimming against it, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like you've got another you've got your companions now.
Hi, my name is Finin.
Can we talk to these folks?
Hi, my name is
Yeah,
Finin.
you
It's
can
nice
talk
to
to
meet you.
Hi.
Yes. Hello. I imagine introductions are in order. My name's Willard Sniv. You can call me Willie. And this is Rupert. You can call him the Death Lord. And these are some folks who are under my protection.
So
They are not to be harmed under any circumstances, under pain of death.
Okay.
We'll fuck you up.
I'm Clenkus.
Linkus?
Clenkus?
Clenkus.
Clankus.
I or a?
And E. C-L-E.
Oh, Clenkus.
Clenkus.
Yes, Tim.
Clenkus.
And you are, and I
Clenkus.
introduce myself to the other two salamanders.
You may call them Skippy and Speckles.
Are those like pet
He is
name?
speaking like very broken common. Very,
Oh, sweet.
very
I'm
broken
gonna.
common.
I try tongues. I mean, I try a giant first.
No.
I'm just gonna cast tongues.
They speak Ingen.
Yeah. Right. Hi, friends. My name's
Hello.
Finin. We're Blackwater. Thank you for helping us out.
Yes, of course. What are you doing here, going upriver?
This and that. Going to the source. Fun stuff.
You see that, like, they both kind of narrow their eyes. They don't trust you guys at
Tell
all.
them we're after the most valuable thing in the whole plane, and then like wink a little.
At camera, 100%. Yeah, we're looking for the most valuable thing on this plane.
Kale's like, what the fuck are you guys looking at?
Oh, it's fine. I'm looking over at your force wall.
Ben and I can both see into the
I
ethereal
don't
plane.
feel good about that, but it had
Oh,
to
the
Fourth
It end the session
wall.
right there.
Yeah. And that's where we're
I'd
gonna
like-
end tonight and forever.
And that's where
Right before
Brandon takes
Blackwater.
over.
This is why we can't have nice things.
I'd like to hand each of the crew that we've just gotten some treats. They're going to be like, we will say that it's like amber from one of the trees that had gone down in a forest fire, infused with like sugar and various things to kind of like a small little hard candy. And
I hand him. I learned this method actually from a mentor of mine. It was his original recipe. His name's Werther. Try these.
Yes.
and
You
if
see they
they
both take them
Mhm.
and like their like long kind of tongues like lick out around them,
You both seem a little.
devour them, and they just start like crunching down hard on them.
You both seem a little reserved. Do you want to air any worries, any concerns? And I'm happy to field them along with my compatriots here.
No, it's just. This isn't usually how this kind of thing goes.
We're an unusual group, but we get the
Yes.
job done, and we kick ass. So
Yes, we're just. I just don't trust any of you, really.
oh,
Would it help for me to tell them that what we're doing, or do I think that would be a bad idea?
Yeah, you can try. It's like they genuinely seem like they've been pirated, so they're now sort of like they know that they're outgunned, but they can't really do anything about it at this moment.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. We're quite well known. Definitely back where we're from. I'm pretty sure we're going to make a name for ourselves in this plane. And you can either be the folks that helped us get there, and that word travels fast, or no one remembers you because you're dead. So you found yourself in the lucky side of things, friends. You're on the right side of history. Now your names get to be remembered in association with ours.
Oh, I can't understand him. I was gonna. Okay, I was
Oh,
gonna
no.
say something.
Importantly, everyone can understand me.
Okay.
When I'm under tongues, everyone understands me as their native language.
Neppy's just like leaning on the back of the boat, being like, you know, when you're trying to convince someone or something, generally telling them about death is not the right option. She's like saying it to herself. She's like, that's not how you do it.
Can I make a persuasion check?
You can make an intimidation check.
Yeah, that sounded intimidating. You can either join us or die.
I mean,
You're
No,
either
I
with
didn't
us
say
or
you
you're
join us or
dead.
die. I'm telling them that because they are on our side, they will be like they have found themselves on the right side of history rather than
or they'll be dead.
Well, rather than
As a
the alternative
listener,
where they could be dead.
listener, this is what I took away. I can't speak to artist's intention. But it
28.
did sound like join us or die.
Yeah, I mean they're going along with the plan. They don't feel like they have an option.
I don't think you need to sell them on this, Finn, and I think they're already on our side.
I'm sure by the end of this we'll be fast friends.
You're very threatening right now, for no reason.
Khale, I found it important to always be charmingly threatening.
Now you're threatening to me, and I don't understand. I
No,
thought
that's
we
just
were
an
friends.
energy that I'm putting out.
I don't like it.
Well,
Do you want me to be
Titus,
threateningly charming
can you
to balance
stand
him
between?
out?
Yeah, can you stand
That is
between me and
always
him?
threatening
Thank
me.
you.
Yeah. Let me get in between. Hey,
Thank
how
you.
doing? Wait, I can't do it when I need to. It's like it's in my peripherals. my
hard to turn
charm.
on, yeah.
I don't know. Fuck.
But yeah, welcome to the crew.
I'm Jay Stroken.
Thank you.
Hey, what's your 5-year plan, man? And I just get to know
you just chat with
Skippy
them.
and Speckles for a while in broken.
Yeah, make
common.
a charisma check for me.
Okay. Oh, we're feeling good. Just raw charisma.
Raw charisma, dude.
We're not salting it.
Nope.
Can I help him at all?
Not with this. No.
This is just me and Speckles.
This is just how good is his small talk.
it's an 8.
Yeah,
Oh
okay.
no.
They're not super chatty. And do you speak Primordial?
I speak like Tauren or Orin.
Yeah, yeah. So
Or Taryn.
Terran, that's the one.
Taryn. So you spend a lot of time talking at them, and you're not sure how much they understand.
I remember when I was in captivity. Oh, good times.
Neppy again, like sitting at the back of the boat, watching this whole interaction with her exceedingly high insight, just being like, "This is 12 shades of wrong." Like, and I'm just like sitting next to Callie, and I'm just being like, "No.
So,
Well, I just wanted to say,
Also-
Willie with his 6 charisma
yeah.
watches this and is like,
Man, he's so smooth.
I also want to point out that every time Neppy's like, this isn't right, or says no, Finn does hear it. Finn's
I know.
clocking it.
How many of you are in the small boat right now behind the big boat? Okay, just do it. Okay.
Willie has definitely gone.
Willie.
So you're all in the back. So just
Oh,
Neppy
no,
and
no.
Callie.
I'm with Neppy and Kelly.
It's so we can keep pace.
Oh
It's,
We're Jay
you're having to
Stroken.
work so much harder to keep it at pace because you guys are both in the boat. It's
Should we
meant
get
to be
out of the
light.
boat, Tim?
No, you can do whatever you want, but
Am I
you're
making
just
the
like
vocals
you're
slower?
working hard.
Yeah, well, you know.
Yeah, that's
at pace.
Finn is here to work out, and as soon as he like feels like he's got some good reps in, he's gonna be like, "All right, lads, have a good one. I'll see you in a bit." And I'm gonna get on the other boat.
Yeah, as soon as it stops being fun, we'll leave.
Yeah. Okay. So you have to make.
We're not even gonna
like.
flirt with the idea of getting a level of exhaustion. That's for fucking Skippy over here.
All right. So your first day or your second day on the Allura Run comes to an end. The boat is in fine condition to continue going. If you want to push through to Valente Landing, you'll get there by tomorrow. If you push through the night, so you can take your
In fairness, do we feel good about that, pushing through?
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool.
I think it's fine.
Let's do it then.
I'm gonna make a hero's feast. By the way, I didn't say this before, but those treats that I gave them each 5 temporary hit points.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's nice. But I'm gonna make a hero's feast. Let me see how many people this can help, because I want to feed everybody.
I like to think that Willie just has a stack of silver bowls.
Just on the off chance that he ever meets someone that
He's an
he
old
actually
man who
feeds
just
them.
collects things.
Just a bag filled with clinking bowls.
Absolutely.
Up to 12 creatures, folks. We can add to our crew. Everybody gets up to 12 creatures.
We should.
For take.
We should. Will you offer them to the rest of our crew?
Yes. As far as I'm concerned, they're part of the crew until such time as we are separated.
Wonderful.
Everybody gets 12 this time.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Nice.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, I didn't mark off my long rest. Whoopsie, I'm dumb.
All
My
right,
AC is so bad, but my health is so high.
Who would like to take first watch?
I'll take first watch. I went to sleep right away last time. Let's go.
I'll take one.
Okay. So Neppy and Letters, you guys take your first watch. I'll have you both make perception checks.
7 on
Guidance.
perception.
7.
That is going to be math. It's a long day. This 3, 14, 24.
24. Okay.
Yes.
So your watch on this part of the river goes fairly quietly. Not a lot happens. You don't see any other boats, and it is fairly peaceful as your early evening kind of passes rather uneventfully. You can see the salamanders are continuing to push to try to keep the boat up to pace. It seems like it's hard work. But yeah.
Yo, Willie rocks. I love this guy.
He's quite wonderful. He's
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say it's a nice. It's always nice to have someone who knows the lay of the land, and as someone who's gone to many places and never felt quite welcome anywhere. It's nice to have someone who knows.
Oh yeah, and also just like someone who's just like morally flexible. Like that's such a treat. Like, cause like those guys are probably gonna kill those kobolds. And like,
yes.
You know, like it's you're right. It's like a whole moral mess that an absolute quagmire we've waded into. And he's like, just like up to his nips in like those like rubber things that you walk through mud in. Like you can tell that this guy knows the lay of the land and just like not thinking too hard about a situation. And I really admired that in a person.
It's the more I travel, the more people with different moralities to my own that I meet, and it's so curious. I love learning about different people and where they come from. It's interesting.
Yeah, I just like take notes.
You take notes?
Oh yeah, just like you just like stop a piracy by like pirating the pirates. That's wild. I was just gonna flip the ship. Which here's the question. Here's the thing. Okay, no, this is fun. Let's get involved in the morality here. If we got involved to save that kobold ship, odds are those dudes would probably be dead because we're pretty thorough, and I would have very little, care to make sure that they didn't die. What Willie did was rob them of their agency, but they'll probably live to pirate another day. So really, kind of a saint.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm the right person to comment on that, but I can see the logic.
I feel like you're just like one martyrdom away from a sainthood. So
Me?
you know, yeah, absolutely, you could be a saint.
No, I don't want to be a saint.
You don't get to choose. It's it's
But
posthumous.
but
It's
this is.
posthumous.
I mean, by technicality, all of the high priestesses, once we are titled, if by going by your logic, are saints. We get called by our goddess. She killed me.
All of them are saints.
Well, except Grixori.
There you go.
Well, no, because she betrayed us.
Yeah, well,
And
just
she
because it's a
was-
low bar doesn't mean
She was
means
murdered in her
nothing.
sleep.
Yeah,
so-
well, you know.
But I mean, I come from a long line of strong, proud tiefling women who would do anything for her grace, regardless of whether that means my life is forfeit or not.
Here's what I'm hearing.
Mm.
You don't want to be a saint.
No.
If that's true. You'll just have to mind control some more pirates. We're on a good track to
Oh
get
no,
you out
I've
of that
stayed
sainthood.
clearly out of the.
Well, then you're gonna be a saint. I don't know what to tell you. Hey, Finin, wake up.
Yeah.
I can't convince Neppy. She's got her heart set on sainthood. I don't know. I can't.
Yeah,
convince her when
Neppy's for
she's
sure
like
gonna
this.
be a saint.
Right?
Like second she dies, boom, sainthood.
Saint Pentha. Fuck.
Yeah.
I go to sleep.
Both
All
the
right.
boss and the saint.
And I pinch him. I just pinch him on my way out as he calls me the boss.
Is
Oh.
Khale and Finin on this next one?
That was rude, Neppy.
Told you not to call me the boss.
And I told you that I feel things more extremely, and then you pinched me, and it was a very bad sensation.
I apologize. And she goes to sleep.
Good night,
All
boss.
right. I'll have Finin and
Good
Khale
night,
make perception checks,
child.
please.
You know what? Fair.
Yeah.
I
How did
deserve
that
that. That was
feel?
good. That was good. That was
Yeah,
good. Well jabbed, my friend. Yeah. So shit. I should perceive things. Oh, is it 20? Is it an 11 or a 17? That's a 17. 27.
Oh, come on, for fuck's sake. Okay. That was a journey and a half.
It always is.
Especially you use luck point.
I used 2. I rolled a
What?
natural 1.
On
And
a
I used to-
perception with Finin?
Listen. I rolled a natural 1, and then I was like, fuck, if I roll a natural 1, he could bite me in the butt for it. So I was like, I gotta just use a luck point to roll again. I rolled another natural 1,
Sounds like the dice are trying to tell a story.
and then I was like, fuck you, dice. I used another luck point, and then I rolled a natural 20. So the dice really don't know what the hell they want. But I got a 23, which is still not as good as Finn.
All right. Your watch similarly is relatively quiet, but you do notice that the boat behind you is lagging a bit. It seems like the salamanders are getting tired. And you see, like one of them calls out to you, Finn, and is talking to you.
Oh, customs.
Yeah, assumes like, could we get some help, please?
No shit, they going a little slow.
Yeah, I like. Like
Dude.
I'm happy to row. It's a really good workout, and I'm feeling like really good after it.
Yeah,
But,
I mean, I don't mind a little quick workout.
My concern is letting them on the like. It's got yeah. Let's go
We'll
help them
pop
out.
over
But
there.
they sleep on their boat.
Oh yeah, no, they're not coming onto our
Yeah,
boat.
no.
No,
I'd say, yeah,
that is not.
We can head over and yeah.
We get our row on.
We'll
okay.
we'll
You
row
guys
for a
start
bit and
But
y'all take a little kip.
Khale gets over there and he takes his shirt off and he starts rowing shirtless. He's making sure he's like flexing a lot.
Are we doing this, Khale? Like, is Finn pops his stuff off? Is this what are you trying to do here, Khale? Huh? What are you trying to do?
Khale
Okay,
rows
so,
a little faster.
You're
Just
gonna
making sure
outpace our boat.
making sure he's just like his strokes are a little quicker than whatever Finnan's doing.
So that's an 18 on you, Finin, and
To hit?
a 17 on you, Khale. You've taken off your armor.
Oh, absolutely, that hits.
Okay. So as you're rowing, kind of showing off to each other.
Is someone attacking me?
Yeah. You feel their hot tails come around and envelop your body as you're both grappled, and you feel them like slide back as they tip over the side of the boat, and that's where we're going to end it tonight.
Oh shit!
It's a mutiny.
They threw me in the lava?
They are holding you, and they are falling into the lava with you.
Oh, okay, we'll pick that up next.
Yeah, we'll pick that up.
Yeah, I have a thing that I can
I have
do.
stuff I want to do.
Can I end it? Can I end?
No,
Because
that's
I don't know. Not on an action. I just look him in the eye and go, "You fucked up now." Just like eyes go black.
You can't see him. He's behind you. They've enveloped you with their tails.
Amazing.
Oh,
Wow.
God. And missed it.
And we got mutinied.
We got
Sorry,
mutinied
what?
real bad.
I'm in. Khale's in the lava again.
Yeah, we're in the lava. Finn
Not
and
yet.
Khale are shirtless
Is
in the
this-
lava.
Did we
I
end or are
have-
we just?
We're
was
done.
it-
did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tim
we
rolled a
are
crit and there was no one here to
precarious.
cancel it, so it made it official. And
Oh yeah, I
he
mean
rolled a
Neppy
crit.
would have
Actually, Finn
been.
is fully dead. Finn
Neppy
is
would have been
100% dead.
sleeping. So
Kyle's in the lava.
Heading towards the lava. They were
Oh, Khale's gonna be fine. He's got a plan.
asked for help rowing. They went to row. The boys took their shirts off and got competitive. And the salamanders grappled them with their
To be-
tails.
I go
to
for
be-
5
Are
minutes.
falling into the water or into the lava with them.
To be fair, Tim, I feel like, and you can overrule me, but I feel like Khale would have left his armor behind in the boat that he left. Like, I don't feel like he would have
Sure.
taken
Actually-
up and just stashed stuff
On their boat.
on
Tim,
their
so
boat.
that we don't have to do this last week. You said an 18 to hit me.
I
and
could
it's
technically
nighttime?
I could
It's not
technically-
dark.
It's always bright. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that
Always
definitely
bright, yeah.
hits. Definitely hits.
Yeah,
Because I was like, if it's dark, that doesn't actually hit.
No, it's not dark here. With the lava,
Dang.
it's bright.
damn.
Oh my
I,
gosh.
I do have reincarnation stocked.
Lots of my
One of
Sitting
you,
here like,
here's the question: if Finin dies and gets reincarnated, does Bracia also get
Ooh.
reincarnated?
Interesting.
in their own body.
Fascinating.
Unclear. Or is it
Time
like
will
a terrible The Fly Cronenberg monstrosity?
did we say I took a hair from Bracia as well?
From
So I took hairs from
When you
everybody
look-
before.
Yeah, you did see some little
Last
hairs.
session.
Yes.
Yeah.
Holy bananas. Thank you, everyone. A little bit of a shorter session for us tonight because it has been a very long day for us at Fan Expo.
We are retired.
Retired. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. We will be back on Monday for some painting, hopefully, depending on energy levels and how the weekend goes. Because Fan Expo continues for the rest of the weekend. If you are in the Pacific Northwest and want to go to a con and can cross borders, etc., if you're in the States, please consider going to Fan Expo. It is awesome. We don't have any presentations tomorrow or Monday, but there are some amazing creators and artists who are out there. Please, please, please go check it out. And then we are back on Wednesday for DM Roulette featuring Beth the Bard and Jen from Feywild and Out. We are very, very excited to have them. Thank you to everyone who came out to our panels. Y'all were just such fantastic
Yeah, we
audiences.
appreciate
Thank you to
you.
everyone who followed. Tave for the raids. Mad Bird and Tales of Aresia. Anna Medes, thank you for all the subs.
Oh
You
my God.
fantastic friendo.
So sweet.
Love you all very much. And
Speaking of raids, do we want to go raid whiskey? Oh,
yeah, I
good,
think
good
we should.
friend.
Yes.
Good friend. So what we're gonna do is we
I
are
could
gonna
go
take
for a
us
fucking
into
whiskey
an
right
an outro screen. So please stick around for the raid. We are gonna head over to our dear friend Whiskey, who's probably playing some Hunt Showdown right now.
This
Uh,
is correct.
We love her very, very much. So please give her some big Blackwater love. And you know, when you're a grave cleric just trying to do a good job to keep her party alive, you apparently can't sleep because you've got to make sure that everyone can be
Toddlers! We're toddlers. You can't leave us alone.